Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good middle of the night. This is Michelle Williams, your Survey123 Jedi. And today I want to show you my toolbox. And I'm going to break my toolbox. And we know we're going to break my toolbox. But I want to show you the toolbox first. And we're going to do this in small iterations. So this is a toolbox. Oh, look, the light came on. This is the toolbox I've been using. I'm going to share it with you. And we're going to look at it. And if you have comments, I'm not watching the comments, but I'll get back to the comments before we end and we can walk through this together. So I want to share this with you. This is all the code that I've been collecting over 8 years. And some of it is code that I've gotten into, like, for example, if you go to new surveys and you go in here to templates, I went through every single one of these one Christmas, and it was 317. That light's going to go on and off. Anyways, I went through all of those. There might be new ones in here, but I took all of my favorite code and I put it in my toolbox, and also any code that I had before that. So I'm going to close this and I'm going to show you my toolbox. We're going to run through the good toolbox. I'm going to tell you that I don't know when the last update was, because in my spreadsheet, I took off the form that said, here, close this. That. I took off the piece that says what version it is. I took off all the purple at the very bottom. These are all tabs that I have. I'm going to make this smaller so you don't see that stop sharing screen on the bottom. It's kind of ugly. All right, my friends. So we've got the first three that Survey123 gives us. I add this deliverables here, which is like things that I want back in my inbox, or what do we want in our feature reports, or experience builder, web app builder. Do we want it viewable or editable, or we don't want it at all? Dashboards specifically for our inspectors, dashboard for our stakeholders. And then, some data down here. I have inbox instances. So these are all the instance names that I've used before. These are where clauses. Wouldn't you like to have this? Let me tell you a secret. I'm going to gift it to anybody who wants it once it's all fixed. And if you want to add yours to this one, I'd love to include your code, and we'll put your name next to it, because we want this to be usable from everybody. And then surveys that I was updating. This is how I was updating things. These were the names of the updates. These were, I had to update them during certain timeframes, like this one here, 315. We had to republish everything because there was a bug. 316, we had to remove the username because username wasn't populating and it was crashing everything. 217 was pretty good. 218, pretty good. These are some of my workflows. This is what we were doing. These are all the templates that I did. So you can see I did a whole lot of them for 317. These are all the names. These are all the special things that I found. And I wanted to start going through samples, but I haven't done it. I haven't finished that yet. I actually didn't get very far. So if you want to help me with that, if anybody wants to go through the samples, tell me what you find. Tell me how many bananas, because bananas means experience level. And let's see what else I have. These were changes that we needed to do. These are some pool data information. These are some notes for Experience Builder. These are some error messages that happen and what they mean. Anyways, you can see that there's a lot of information here. Very useful information. And then we have the survey itself. And then we have choices. And did you know you can put a snippet inside of here and it's not going to affect anything? Anyways, that is the crazy that goes into my head. And I want to show you what this looks like. I love this. This is so amazing. Okay, so my favorite pieces are these pieces here. That's why they're great. I have sketches for standard JPEGs in a media folder. So we put a bunch of images. So depending on which image you check on and what the condition is, you can go in and you can circle what's the error. Maybe there's something going on here. Kind of cool. And then all of this goes into your JPEG and it's in your hosted service when you're all finished. And then there it is right there. Kind of cool. We love that. Here's sketches on photos and files. This is very similar, but you can take a picture And my camera's on, so I can't show you, but you can then make some edits. I think this one is the map. Yeah, this one's the map. And so you can come in here and I believe we can, yeah, you click on that and then here's your map. And now you get to draw on your map. So maybe it's red and we can say, yeah, we got a problem right here. We need to kind of work on that. How cool is that? How many of us ever wanted to do that? Yeah, that's amazing. We can close that. This one here is a profile sketch. That one you can take a photo and do the same thing. You know, take your photo and then annotate it with your text. And you can change colors, all of that fancy stuff. Anyways, let's go back up here. Location options. This is the one with some JSON file. There's a script that's in that toolbox. I was telling you about the samples. This is where I found it. So if you click, it still thinks I'm in Redlands. It doesn't know I'm in Arizona at the moment. We populate a whole lot of information and then it says nearest address. Oh, look at that. How about the address description? And sometimes it's a company. Municipality, it tells you who that is. What county is it in? And then it says reverse geocode. That's a lot of cool information. So if I ever need an address, I come in here and I can find it. This is that part with the JavaScript right here. And it tells you exactly what you want to know. Some temp options. And so there's some input mask. And I don't think this is working right now because like I said, I have not updated this in a long time, but I want to gift it out to some very key people. And so what we're doing is I need to go through, I need to update that with this tool right here. But as soon as I do that, everything breaks. So I need to go in and I need to fix it. So we're going to do that together. Not all tonight. I just want to show you what's in here tonight. I might go through a few things. I might show you how I break it. But we're going to do this over some iterations of time. But I just want to show you there's some cool things in here. So here's some date options. So this is today's date. And then down here, if I say, I want to go out 5 days. Look down here. So the date to comply. Well, 5 days on the back end, it's really 7 days because we don't work weekends. Same thing with 15. You're going to have, those the weekend dates, and 30, you're going to have your weekend dates. But sometimes there's a holiday. So you can say 15 plus 1 day holiday or 2 days holidays. We know that this week we're having Labor Day, I believe. 30 days plus 1 company holiday, those type of things. So we needed to do those calculations. And so that's all in here. It all makes sense. I'm glad it's still working. Anyways, some image options. Are you doing, some sites? Are you taking some photos? These are all my image. All the blue ones are images. So images in a grid theme. If there's a watermark already used and we want to do something else, that's what this is. I don't remember what it was because it's been a long time. But this one here is your photo. When you take a picture, it's going to give you a photo name. And I put a note on there that maximum photo names are 256 characters because we did that. We made them really, really long. That wasn't a good idea. But we learned. So that's what we're here for. I'm here to tell you how to do this so that you can learn and you don't have to make the same mistakes. So calculation risk based on answers. Here we go. So then maybe there's a 2 and a 3. And look at this beautiful chart that comes up. Isn't that fantastic? So we know it's a medium and it tells you why. And then some action. This is actually, I think this is also, let me look up here. Risk assessment template. This was from 317, but you can get that for free. It's in that template. And then you come in here and you look and you're, okay, well, we need to mitigate this. So put your information in there. And then here is another version. So 2 and 3, medium, same thing. Calculate risk based on answers. So maybe we need to do some answers in here. You'll notice the calculations are changing down here at the bottom. And then create a polygon while you're streaming. How many of you would like to be traced as you're walking? That's a beautiful thing. There's acres and hectares, and I think behind the scenes we can actually calculate all that. Sketch standard. Okay, we already did the sketches. Those are my favorite. I hope they're your favorite too. Other cool gadgets. So we did the compass. because we needed to know what direction are you pointing, because at the time we didn't know how to do the XF data. But that's a cool thing to do anyways. Then you've got your barcodes. Love barcodes. Just to let you know, my passion project is botanical gardens, and we wanted to scan the plant code because they were putting them in and out of different greenhouses. Just so that you know, most botanical gardens, their plant number in all the databases has an asterisk right in the middle. So we have a problem. That's why it's going to be my passion project going forward. We want to add a field and take that asterisk out so that they can use it. It was my husband's thesis, and he was not happy with the end result, and I want to help him with that. And so we're doing a whole botanical garden. We've got some cool people coming together for that. We have somebody that's an expert in hubs. So she's coming in and she's going to help us design something for botanical gardens. And then we're going to gift out this whole training just to the world, because we all need step-by-step project-based training. I mean, wouldn't it be nice to do a whole project and then you have full training? And we have somebody who's going to help us with Python, ArcPy. Somebody's going to help us with the web app, and he does programming. You might know. You'll know some of these folks. They're on my LinkedIn. And I did a post about that previous. But anyways, we've got a lot of people who want to do pieces. And so we're just going to get together. We are going to build it out, and we're just going to share it with the world. Then we have some other codes down here, things I was using. This one here, I think Call the Water Department actually has a phone number on the back end. This here is, I used to think this was so cool. Emojis are perfect because, you want to be able to do that. Just know that your feature reports are going to be ugly. Yeah, they're really ugly if you put these little symbols in there. So that's why I don't use it anymore. These are the spinners. I don't like spinners because it takes so long to get somewhere. I would rather just put an integer, but I put it in there in case maybe there was just like 4 pieces that they needed to roll through. It might be useful. So this one is, selecting one and certain things happen. It's talking about horizontal spacing. And then you have these down here. Week number. Somebody asked me about week numbers today, so I'm going to point them in this direction. But if you put today's date, you're going to get week 35. If you come back and you say, well, what was this one? Week 32. So it's just code on the back end. We just need to know how to use the product. This one here was the epoch number. And I don't remember why we needed that, but Survey123 had a hard time at one time trying to figure out time, depending on your code and things like that, where you were in the world. So we needed that at one time. I think we've got it under control. We'll see what happens. That's what it was, the offset hours. So this is just code. What's your offset hours? What time zone are you on? Organizational account email there. So you now have my email. There it is. The first and last name of the current signed in user. Then this is a unique identifier. I don't think I've ever used that, but there it is. The model name of what I'm using. This one, I believe this is creator is the license type. And then Z16, I don't know what any of that is, but what's great is if it's connected to my name and maybe there's some troubleshooting that's going on, maybe my device and John's device, we're both having issues, and you can see, you can check on all this information, say, what's the same in theirs that nobody else has? It might be that I have an Android and John has an Android and we didn't update our Survey123 in a long time. That's where this one comes in, grab the version, and there it is. And, or maybe we updated ours and maybe nobody else has. And so maybe there's an issue there, but at least now you know. This is the bird observation. This also came from one of the samples. And so there is a audio right here. And it's going to rile the birds up. And then you can come in and you can do your count of females, males, and juveniles. And I would not know the difference. I'm not that kind of scientist, but there are many of you that are. And so you would be able to do this and push out. Maybe you are doing females, maybe somebody else is doing males, and somebody else is looking for juveniles. Maybe you're just clicking to figure out, okay, well, 24. or 13 or whatever that looks like. This is a cool piece of code. This is the intersection of buffered points. This is somewhere else. This is one of those templates also. And some things are supposed to come in right here, and it's not working because 317 was a long time ago. But once I get it working, then the code will be fine. But I know that it's broken. So, and some of you are finding out that maybe some of your data is broken. I'm going to show you, we're going to break this, and then we're going to do surgery and make sure that we can get things to work. Then there's hyperlinks. And then a lot of these are just, how to round up, how to round down. And then they're adding together males and female birds, just different things. Unique IDs. Some of you are looking for unique IDs, and it would be really nice to just put a bunch of things together and concatenate them. That's what this is. So this one, I auto-populated fire, trans, and Jedi. And then if there was a laydown yard, just put something ugly in there. And there it is. That's your new unique identifier. Oh, and I have some code in there that says if there's a laydown yard, we only need the fire in the laydown yard. So there's really cool things you can do here. Then we've got some other things that we were working on. I don't know what that is. It's been a long time. But I just wanted to share with you. There's a lot going on. I'm just looking. Anyways, we're going to break this, because now that you've seen it and now that it's recorded, you can see what's going on. Some of these calculations for watermarks, it's pulling like my name from way up there, and some other format details. That's some of the code. Well, it looks like it's not working, probably because I didn't fill everything in. So we're going to work on that. Are you guys excited? I'm going to come into our chat and see if anybody's actually on here. And all right, nobody's in here. That's okay. A lot of you in Arizona are at dinner, and I decided I had extroverted a lot today. So I was taking a little break. But what we're going to do is I'm going to break it. Are you ready? All right, here we go. So when you want to break your thing, make sure your Survey123 Excel file is closed. I'm going to tell you so that so you don't think I am unaware of what's going to happen. All of my special tabs down here, they're all going to disappear. But it's okay. I'm going to show you where those live, and then we're going to go forward. So I'm just going to say don't save, because I'm not saving anything, but I do want to come in here and update my template. And this is where it all breaks. And that's okay. We're going to fix it. I'm going to show you where the other file is, because Esri was great enough to, that's the first error. Okay, so I'm going to show you where this all is. And I'm going to do an update, because since we broke it all, nothing's going to show up. Yeah, that's how far it goes. I'm going to show you where the file actually resides. So here is the master toolbox. And you see how it says debug and debug all tabs? Well, I knew all tabs. I wanted to keep that one, and I've done this twice. So it's going to make a folder called debug. That's the one from today, 8/26. You can come in here and you can see the date. They just added the date here. And that's where all your tabs are. And that's a beautiful thing. And now we want to open up the XLS form for this one. Now you see everything that's going on down here, except I don't think you can. Oh, I can hide this. There we go. All right, my friends, now you can see everything. All right. So what ends up happening when you update is now it's gone through and it's done surgery. The software has Python. And if you don't have that little tool, it's because you probably don't have ArcGIS Pro on your computer, and they talk to each other. And that's where the Python's coming from. Anyway, so you can see what's going on here. My colors are a little different. Some of them are the same. I always do this one like a deep blue, just because I know where it is. I can grab the whole thing and I can put it in my surveys. Then we've got our choices. We've got our settings and version. Now version is here. Now I know what the version is. Then we've got our question types, our appearances, field types, references, and reserved. Now, if you don't know what these are, you can go to my Padawan Academy for free. Go to Survey123Jedi.com. And on that page, you're going to have a lot of options. Just go to the Padawan Academy. And it's $15. And you get into the live class the next time I do it in September. And so I have you do $15 because I know you'll be at the live class if it's just a little bit painful. I love that. All right, friends. So we've broken this. There's a lot going on. We need to, now if I wanted to make this like my other one, I think I'm going to keep version this time. So now I'll know, but I don't need all this other stuff. So I'm going to right mouse click and delete those. Yes. So now I have a clean first four. Now what I want to do is I need to go grab those other tabs from over here because I love those tabs. I hope you do too. So deliverables all the way over. And I'm going to go to errors 1 and I'm just going to, oops, there. Oh yeah, I grabbed them all. And I'm going to put them after version and say yes to all. And make sure that I got them all because I couldn't see everything. Okay, there's still more. Beginning repeats. Oh, I did have version with, 320. Okay, that wasn't too far back. But I'm going to grab these. Somewhere. Let's put these here. Come over here. Beginning repeats to the universal issues. And we'll put them somewhere over here. I think we have to make that much smaller. You can tell I have a lot of these. We're just going to put them there somewhere. Yes to all. All right, my friends. So we've taken everything from here. Don't save because just in case I want to keep an old one. And now we need to do surgery, but I'm not ready to do surgery today. So I'm going to let you guys go, and I appreciate you being here. And if you have code that you'd like to include in this, I will take your code and put it in here with your name on it, and I will send you my mess of Survey123 code because I want to share this with the world. But I want everybody to be able to have one place to put all their code. And I love this. This is amazing. And anytime that I need to come in here and grab some code, I'll go, okay, I know it's in relevant. How many of you love your relevance? And you can come in here to this down arrow and it's filtered. And I'll come in here and just take the blanks off. And now I can see all my relevance. And one of those is probably the one that I need. I do the same thing with, sometimes I want to do concatenate. Let's see, click. In calculations, I might just want concatenate. I'll come up here and say concat. And then that's all my concatenations. And if I bring them out and maybe I tell it to wrap my text, now you can see everything. These are all the things I concatenate. This is BR. I think that's like a repeat, or not a repeat. It brings it back down. Carriage return, I think is what that is. I don't use it very often. And you probably don't use your code very often, but you probably know what survey has what code in it. And I'm going to tell you, make a toolbox because you can't take all those surveys with you when you leave, but you can take your toolbox because there's nothing proprietary in there. Did you love this? Give me a thumbs up or text me or DM me. Let me know if you like this idea. I'm going to save this because we are going to continue on our path. But tonight, I'm finished. I was extroverting today. Here we are. Look at that. There we are. I'm going to take this off. All right, my friends. So I hope you enjoyed that. 24 minutes in my brain. And that's what I have for you. I'm at the Arizona. It's called AGIC. And I'm enjoying myself. I get to learn about people who I've never met before. Some of them are on LinkedIn with me. And I'm really enjoying getting to know people. A lot of them are at dinner right now. And I needed to work with you tonight. So I wanted to say thank you. Thank you for being here. Text me, DM me. I'm here. And I answer my own, I answer my own DMs. So let me know if you have any questions. I'm here for you. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.